Welcome everyone. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the essence of self-discipline and the power of self-mastery. This isn't just a journey of knowledge, but a meaningful exploration that will help you understand yourself better and, more importantly, become the best version of yourself. Have you ever felt caught in the whirlwind of modern life? Everything seems to move so fast, with pressures from work, family, and even from the expectations you place on yourself. Have you ever wondered if there's a way to maintain your inner strength and not be swept away by things you cannot control? If your answer is yes, then this video will surely offer you valuable insight. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. This quote is not just a piece of advice, it's a principle of life. It has endured and helped people overcome challenges for thousands of years. And now, it will be the guiding light as we delve into the importance of self-discipline. Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of procrastination, lack of focus, or the inability to achieve your goals? Do you want to find a way to control yourself, to not be swept away by the busy tides of life? Today, we will explore the 10 core principles of Stoic philosophy that has existed for millennia and has guided countless people in finding their own path. These principles are not just theoretical. They are practical tools that you can apply immediately to build unshakable self-discipline and take control of your life. Get ready, because our journey is about to begin. And remember, every step we take on this journey, every principle we explore together will be like bricks in the wall of discipline, helping you become stronger, more resilient, and the master of your own life. We begin with the first principle, which is the foundation of all self-mastery. Focus on what you can control. In life, we often find ourselves in situations that make us feel helpless and exhausted. This is because we frequently try to control things beyond our reach, which drains our mental energy. Stoic philosophy teaches us that there are two types of things in life: things within our control and things beyond our control. This is the dichotomy of control. What lies within your control includes your thoughts, actions, and attitudes. On the other hand, the weather, behavior of others, or the outcome of your actions lie beyond your control. Once we recognize this difference, we can start directing our focus on what we can change. This not only conserves our mental energy, but also helps us develop self-discipline by concentrating on improving what we can control. Think about a situation where you felt out of control, like trying to change someone else's mind. No matter how hard you try, their thoughts are beyond your control. Instead of focusing on changing others, focus on changing yourself, your reactions, your communication, and your attitude towards them. These are the things you can control. Another example might be facing an unexpected event like a storm ruining your plans. Instead of feeling frustrated or angry about what you can't control, focus on adjusting your plans. Find alternative solutions or ways to adapt to the new circumstance. This will help you feel more confident and less pressured by external factors. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, lived his life as a slave. He had no power to control his physical life, but he chose to focus on what he could control: his thoughts, actions, and attitude. Rather than being overwhelmed by the things he couldn't change, Epictetus used every opportunity to learn and grow spiritually. In the end, he became one of the greatest philosophers of Stoicism. Epictetus' story reminds us that even in the harshest circumstances, we can control how we think and respond. That is the true power of self-mastery. Better understand the difference between what you can control and what you cannot. Break down the elements of your daily life. You can control your attitude towards each new day, how you react to criticism, or how you handle work pressure. But you cannot control the weather, other people's behavior, or the final outcome of a project. By focusing on what you can control, you not only save energy, but also create positive changes in your life. This helps you develop self-discipline and achieve self-mastery in any situation. How many of the things that worry you in life are actually within your control? What can you do to focus on what you can change? Ask yourself this question whenever you feel pressured by external factors. When you realize that you cannot control everything, you will begin to focus on what truly matters and make positive changes. Make a list of things you can and cannot control. Every day, take time to review this list and focus your energy and time on what you can change, ignoring what is beyond your control. Practicing this regularly will lead to positive changes in how you approach life. Now that we've grasped what lies within our control and what does not, the next step is to learn to flow with the natural course of life. Accept what comes our way as part of the natural order. This leads us to the second principle. After understanding the importance of focusing on what you can control, the next principle of Stoic philosophy is to live according to nature. This is a profound principle that helps us find harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Living according to nature does not mean living impulsively or without a plan, but rather living in accordance with reason, virtue, and the order of the universe. It means accepting what happens naturally without complaining or resisting it. Life is an ongoing flow, and we are part of that flow. Harmony in life comes from accepting and living in accordance with nature, rather than trying to resist it. Let's take the example of Marcus Aurelius, famous Roman emperor, known for his simple and stoic lifestyle. Throughout his life, Marcus faced numerous challenges, from endless wars to political intrigues and personal losses. Yet, instead of being overwhelmed by the chaos, Marcus chose to accept everything as part of the natural order. One of his famous quotes is, "The harmony of life does not come from fighting against nature, but from accepting and living according to it." Marcus not only accepted what happened in his life, but also sought to live fully in each moment, without complaint or resentment. Living according to nature is not easy. It requires us to let go of unrealistic expectations and learn to accept what cannot be changed. This doesn't mean we have to passively accept everything, but rather we need to understand that some things are beyond our control, and we should learn to live in harmony with them. One way to practice this principle is to focus on living fully in each moment. This means not worrying about the past or the future, but instead living consciously and fully in the present. By doing this, we can find peace and happiness in everyday life. In modern life, we often encounter situations similar to those faced by Marcus Aurelius. For example, when you experience an unexpected job loss, instead of panicking and despairing, accept it as part of life and find a way to adapt. Think of every change as an opportunity, and our task is to discover and seize these opportunities. Another example is facing illness or aging. Instead of worrying and resisting the natural changes in your body, learn to accept them and find ways to live a healthier, happier life in any circumstance. When you accept what cannot be changed, you will find yourself more at peace and better able to face challenges. Do you often complain about things not going your way? How can you find peace by accepting the natural course of life? This is a question that we should ask ourselves when facing life's challenges. When you learn to accept what cannot be changed, you will find inner peace and the ability to face any situation with calm and clarity. Whenever you encounter difficulties, ask yourself, is this a part of life's natural course? What can I learn from this? Practice accepting and learning from the natural challenges in life. This will help you feel more at peace and aligned with the natural flow of life. After learning to accept nature, the next step is to control our ego. The ego often drives us to act contrary to nature, complicating life and creating unnecessary troubles. This leads us to the third principle. As we move forward, having understood the importance of living according to nature, the next principle in Stoic philosophy is controlling our ego. The ego, our sense of self, is one of the biggest enemies of self-mastery and discipline. When we allow the ego to control us, we easily misjudge ourselves, leading to arrogance, envy, and inappropriate behavior. Ego often leads us to think and act irrationally. When the ego speaks, we easily become arrogant, envious, or even insecure. The greater danger is that the ego can blur reality, making us unable to see the truth clearly. Practicing ego-lessness doesn't mean giving up on yourself or denying your value, but recognizing that the ego should not drive your life. Instead, we must live with humility, self-awareness, and always remain open to learning and improving. Consider Diogenes, a philosopher known for his ascetic lifestyle. Diogenes lived an extremely simple life, owning only a cloak, a stick, and a bowl. One day, he saw a child drinking water from his hands, and Diogenes immediately threw away his bowl, saying, "This child has taught me that I am still attached to unnecessary possessions." This story clearly illustrates Diogenes' philosophy of ego-lessness. He was always ready to abandon anything, including his ego, to live a simple and free life. Practicing ego-lessness is a long journey that requires patience and a clear understanding of oneself. It doesn't mean you have to give up all your achievements or accomplishments, but you need to view them with humility. Don't let the ego cloud your judgment or distance you from reality. Always remember, success or failure is merely an experience in life. What's important is what you learn from them and how you can become better. Humility helps you see yourself more clearly, learn from others, and grow holistically. In everyday life, we often encounter situations where the ego wants to take over. For example, when you achieve something, you may feel the urge to boast or compare yourself to others. But instead of doing that, focus on developing yourself holistically, learning from others and from your failures. Humility will help you progress faster and avoid unnecessary conflict. Another example is when you are criticized. Instead of reacting immediately or defending your ego, listen calmly and think about what you can learn from the criticism. Our ego often doesn't want to admit mistakes, but only by accepting that we are not perfect can we truly grow. How does the ego affect your life? How can you let go of arrogance and focus on inner development? This is an important question that we should ask ourselves when facing situations where the ego speaks up. When you become aware of your ego and learn to control it, you will find yourself becoming more humble, learning more, and living a more harmonious life. Start by writing a journal about your achievements and areas for improvement, focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Regularly remind yourself that humility is the path to sustainable growth. Practice this regularly to gradually build a lifestyle of ego-lessness. Every day, take some time to reflect on what you have done and what you can do better. Write down your achievements, but also the things you need to improve. Don't let your ego cloud the truth, but instead, view everything objectively and fairly. When you practice this regularly, you will find yourself becoming more patient, confident, and ready to face any challenge. Having controlled the ego, we now face a greater challenge, adversity. But instead of avoiding it, Stoicism advises us to embrace our fate and accept everything that happens as part of the journey. This is the fourth principle. After mastering the ego, the next step is to face one of life's greatest challenges, adversity. But instead of avoiding or resenting it, Stoicism teaches us to embrace everything that happens with gratitude and to love our fate. This is the principle of Amor Fati, a love of fate. Amor Fati in Stoic philosophy means to love and accept your fate, regardless of what happens in your life. This doesn't mean we passively accept every difficulty, but rather we see them as part of life and use them to grow. Every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen our spirit, build our inner strength, and become more resilient. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, faced many ups and downs in his life. From exile to personal losses, instead of cursing his fate, Seneca chose to turn adversity into an opportunity for learning and growth. During his exile, he wrote profound philosophical works that not only helped him overcome difficulties, but also left a valuable legacy for humanity. Seneca teaches us that every challenge we encounter is a precious lesson that helps us become stronger and understand ourselves better. When we love our fate, we not only overcome adversity, but also find joy in facing it. Facing adversity is an unavoidable part of life. What's important is not avoiding or resenting what happens, but how we face and overcome it. Amor Fati teaches us that instead of complaining or feeling threatened by difficulties, we should see them as opportunities for self-development. One way to practice Amor Fati is to always ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? By doing this, we turn adversity into an opportunity for growth and development, rather than letting it weaken us. In everyday life, we face many challenges that, if not viewed correctly, can easily lead us to despair. For example, when you face failure at work, breakup, or the loss of a loved one, see it as part of the journey, an opportunity to learn and become stronger. Instead of avoiding it, embrace and love it. Another example is when you lose your job. Instead of feeling unjust or worried, see it as an opportunity to reassess your career path, learn new skills, and seek new opportunities that better suit you. Amor Fati helps you turn difficulties into motivation to move forward and never step back. How do you react to adversity? How can you turn difficulties into opportunities for personal growth? This is a question we should ask ourselves every time we face a challenge. When you change your perspective on adversity, you'll see that every challenge brings valuable lessons and opportunities to grow. Take time to recall a major challenge you have overcome in the past. Write down the lessons you learned from it and think about how you can apply them to your current life. This will help you build resilience and be ready to face any future challenges. When we have accepted and loved our fate, the next step is to practice gratitude. Gratitude not only helps us appreciate what we have, but also helps us maintain a positive spirit and face difficulties with readiness. This is the fifth principle we will explore. Having learned to embrace adversity and love our fate, the next step is to practice gratitude. This is one of the most important principles of Stoic philosophy, helping us find joy and peace in everyday life. Gratitude is the key to appreciating the present moment and not being swept away by material desires or baseless worry. When we are grateful, we not only feel better ourselves, but also create a positive impact on those around us. Stoicism teaches that focusing on the good things you have, rather than what you lack, will help you find true peace and happiness. When we are grateful, we not only appreciate the small things in life, but also learn to find joy in any circumstance, even in the most difficult times. Epictetus, although born a slave, always expressed gratitude for the small things in life. He realized that true freedom lies within, where the mind is not bound by external circumstances. No matter how hard life was, Epictetus always found something to be grateful for, thus maintaining a strong and peaceful spirit. One famous story about Epictetus is when he was severely injured due to mistreatment. Instead of cursing his fate, he found solace in philosophy and understood that the important thing was not what happened to the body, but how we responded to it. Epictetus taught that even if we lose everything, we still have our mind, and that's where we can find freedom and peace. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you whenever something good happens. It's a way of life, an awareness that everything we have is worth cherishing. When you practice gratitude, you will realize that no matter how difficult life is, there are always good things to appreciate. One way to practice gratitude is to spend a few minutes each morning before starting the day, thinking about what you are grateful for. This could be your health, family, work, or even small things like a cup of coffee or the morning sunlight. When you start your day with gratitude, you will feel energized and ready to face any challenges. In modern life, we easily forget the good things we have. For example, when you feel dissatisfied with your job, stop and think about what the job has given you: knowledge, skills, relationships, and financial stability. Be grateful for these things, and you will feel more at peace. Another example is when you feel tired or stressed. Stop for a moment and think about the things you can be grateful for: your health, family, friends, and the opportunities life has given you. Gratitude not only makes you happier, but also helps you maintain balance in life, not being swept away by worries and pressures. Do you often express gratitude? How can you cultivate a daily attitude of gratitude? This is an important question that each of us should ask ourselves every day. When you are grateful for what you have, you will find that life becomes more meaningful and you will be better able to face difficulty. Now, try a simple but effective exercise. Every day, write down 3 things you are grateful for, whether small or large. This habit will help you focus on the positive and maintain balance in life. Try this for a week and see how it changes your mood and attitude. When you practice gratitude daily, you will find yourself calmer, happier, and more prepared to face any challenge. Gratitude not only helps you appreciate what you have, but also helps you create a positive environment around you, where everyone feels loved and appreciated. As we become grateful for what we have, we'll want to live a purposeful life, making the most of what we have to achieve our goals and live every moment to the fullest. This is the 6th principle we will explore. As we learn to be grateful for what we have, the next step is to live a purposeful life. This is one of the most important principles of Stoic philosophy, helping us find meaning in life and live each moment fully. Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. This is not a pessimistic reminder, but a reminder that our time on this earth is finite, and therefore, we should live a purposeful life, making the most of every moment we have. Stoicism doesn't teach us to fear death, but to use the awareness of death to live a more purposeful life, focusing on core values and what truly matters. When we realize that our time is limited, we will appreciate each moment more and not waste time on unnecessary things. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on death, not to frighten himself, but to remind himself to live each day fully. He understood that every moment was precious, and nothing was more regrettable than wasting time on things that didn't bring real value. One of Marcus Aurelius's famous quotes is, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Marcus not only lived with purpose, but also inspired those around him to live with passion and determination. He knew that every day was an opportunity to do good, to live true to his values, and to make a difference in the lives of others. Living with purpose is not just about achieving big goals, but also about living consciously and fully in every moment. This means we need to clearly define our core values and always act according to those values. One way to live with purpose is to always ask yourself, does this align with my core values and life purpose? By doing this, we can avoid unnecessary distractions and focus on what truly matters. In everyday life, it's easy to get caught up in habits and trivial things, causing us to forget true purpose of life. For example, if you knew you only had a week to live, how would you spend your time? What would you do to ensure you had no regrets when looking back on your life? Another example might be setting long-term goals for your life. Think about what you truly want to achieve, the values you want to uphold, and what you want to leave behind for future generations. When you live with purpose, you will find that each day becomes more meaningful, and you will find it easier to make important decisions. If today were your last day, what would you do? What is your life's purpose? This is a question that each of us should ask ourselves when facing important decisions. When you realize your life's purpose, you will find it easier to focus on what truly matters and not get lost in trivial things. Take time to write down your personal mission and the things you want to achieve in life. Make sure that every day you are living in a way that you won't regret. Practice this regularly to keep your life on the right track. Every day, ask yourself, what did I do today to get closer to my goal? When you live with purpose, you will find that every day is an opportunity to grow, contribute, and to live a fulfilling life. As we live with a clear purpose, making the right decisions becomes more important than ever. To do this, we need to develop sound judgment, which we will explore in the 7th principle. As we understand our life's purpose, making the right decisions becomes more important than ever. And to do that, we need to develop the ability to judge situations accurately. Crucial skill in Stoic philosophy. The ability to judge situations accurately is one of the most important skills that Stoicism advises us to develop. This includes distinguishing between what is good and what is bad, what is important and what is not, to make the right decisions in life. When we can judge accurately, we won't be swayed by fleeting emotion, but can make wise decisions based on reason and understanding. Judgment is a continuous process, requiring us to consider all aspects of a situation before making a decision. This not only helps us avoid unnecessary mistakes, but also helps us live a meaningful life true to our values. Seneca emphasized the importance of using reason to evaluate situations and make decisions. Seneca lived a life full of challenges, but thanks to his sound judgment, always maintained balance and peace of mind. One famous story about Seneca is when he faced political intrigues in the imperial court. Instead of reacting immediately or letting emotions take over, Seneca took time to think carefully, consider all aspects of the situation, and make a decision. It was through this sound judgment that he overcame many challenges and maintained stability in the court. Judgment is a skill that needs to be developed over time. This requires us to learn to consider every situation from different perspectives, understand the influencing factors, and think carefully before making a decision. Sometimes, we need to take a step back, reflect, and ask ourselves, what is the best course of action in this situation? When we develop sound judgment, we avoid mistakes caused by emotions and make better decisions. One way to develop judgment is to regularly reflect on past decisions. What went right? What could have been done better? What did I learn from this? When you regularly review your decisions, you will gradually improve your judgment skills. In everyday life, we often face situations that require sound judgment. For example, when you are considering an important decision, such as changing jobs, moving to a new city, or ending a relationship, take the time to think carefully about the consequences of that decision, not just for yourself, but for others as well. Another example might be when you are facing a stressful or conflicting situation. Instead of reacting immediately based on emotion, take time to think about the different aspects of the situation to see what is best for everyone. By doing this, you will make wiser decisions and avoid unnecessary conflict. Do you often make decisions based on fleeting emotions? How can you develop your judgment skill? This is an important question that we should ask ourselves when facing important decisions. When you develop your judgment skills, you will find it easier to make the right decisions and live a more harmonious life. When faced with a difficult situation, take time to think carefully before acting. Practice judgment by evaluating the consequences of each decision you make and learning from them. Ask yourself, does this decision align with my core values and life purpose? This will help you develop sound judgment and make better decisions. Every time you face a situation requiring judgment, take time to think about the different aspects of the situation and write down your thoughts. By doing this, you will gradually develop your judgment skills and become more discerning in every decision. Once we have developed sound judgment, we will find that controlling our emotions is an essential part of keeping our judgment on the right track. This is the 8th principle we will explore. As we develop sound judgment, we realize that controlling our emotion is an essential part of keeping our judgment on the right track. In life, emotions are an inseparable part, but if we don't control them, they can lead us to wrong decisions. Stoicism teaches that we should not let emotions drive our action. Emotions, whether anger, fear, or joy, need to be observed objectively and controlled to avoid wrong decisions. When we control our emotions, we maintain calmness and clarity in any situation, thereby making better decisions and living a more peaceful life. Controlling emotions doesn't mean we have to suppress or deny our emotion, but we learn to recognize and manage them wisely. This helps us avoid impulsive reactions and maintain balance in life. Marcus Aurelius, a powerful emperor, was also a great teacher of controlling emotions. Despite being a powerful ruler, Marcus often faced negative emotions like anger and disappointment. But he learned to observe these emotions objectively and not let them drive his actions. One famous story about Marcus Aurelius is when he had to face enemies and challenging situations. Instead of letting emotions take over, Marcus always took time to think carefully, breathe deeply, and keep his mind clear. It was through this emotional control that he made the right decisions, maintaining stability and peace in the Roman Empire. Controlling emotions is a crucial skill that needs to be developed. This requires us to learn to recognize and manage our emotions wisely. When you clearly recognize your emotions, you will find it easier to control them and avoid wrong decisions caused by emotions. One way to develop this skill is to practice meditation or deep breathing exercises. These methods help you stay calm, recognize emotions, and manage them wisely. When you can control your emotions, you will maintain calmness and clarity in any situation. In everyday life, we often face situations that require emotional control. For example, when someone offends you, instead of immediately getting angry, stop, take a deep breath, and think about the reason behind that person's action. This helps you stay calm and respond more intelligently. Another example might be when you feel anxious or fearful about a certain situation. Learn to recognize your emotions and find a wise way to deal with them. Instead of letting fear control you, focus on what you can control and find the best solution for the situation. How do you usually react to stressful or disappointing situations? How can you develop your emotional control skills? This is a question we should ask ourselves whenever we face situations requiring emotional control. When you learn to control your emotions, you will find yourself becoming calmer, more clear-headed, and more capable of making the right decisions. When you feel your emotions rising, write down what you are feeling and why. This helps you view your emotions more objectively and maintain calmness. Practice this regularly to gradually build your emotional control skills. Every time you feel stressed, anxious, or angry, stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and write down what you are feeling. By doing this, you will learn to recognize and manage your emotions more wisely, thereby maintaining balance in life. When we have mastered our emotions, we will find that life becomes much simpler. Simplicity comes not only from self-control, but also from minimizing unnecessary needs. This is the 9th principle we will explore together. As we learn to control our emotions, we will find that life becomes much simpler. And this brings us to the 9th principle of Stoic philosophy. Live simply. Living simply is one of the core principles of Stoic philosophy. It advises us to live a simple life, free from unnecessary material desires, and focus on what truly matters. A minimalist life not only brings physical comfort, but also mental peace. In modern society, we are often caught up in the cycle of consumption, believing that happiness comes from owning more things. Truth is, the more we own, the more we become bound and lose our freedom. Stoicism teaches that happiness doesn't come from owning more, but from appreciating what we have and living a simple and meaningful life. Diogenes, philosopher famous for his ascetic lifestyle. Diogenes only owned a cloak, a stick, and a bowl. He believed that true freedom comes from not being attached to material possession. Diogenes lived a simple but meaningful life, as he wasn't driven by material needs, focused on spiritual and intellectual growth. One famous story about Diogenes is when he met Alexander the Great. When Alexander asked Diogenes if he wanted anything, Diogenes simply replied, "I just want you to step aside so I can enjoy the sunlight." This answer clearly reflects Diogenes' philosophy of simple and free living, where he wasn't bound by material possessions or power. Living simply doesn't mean giving up everything you own, or living an ascetic life. It means you should learn to appreciate what you have, and focus on what truly matters. Simplicity brings you freedom from material attachments, and allows you to focus on self-development and creating real value. One way to practice simple living? To start with small things in your daily life. Challenge yourself to live a week with only the essential, focusing on experiences and relationships, instead of unnecessary material possessions. This will help you realize that true happiness doesn't come from owning more, but from appreciating what you have. In modern life, we are easily caught up in the cycle of consumption, buying things we don't need. But challenge yourself to live a week with only the essentials, focusing on experiences and relationships instead of unnecessary material possession. This will help you realize that true happiness doesn't come from owning more, from appreciating what you have. Another example might be reducing unnecessary items in your life. Instead of buying things that aren't really necessary, focus on developing meaningful relationships, seeking new experiences, and living a simpler life. You'll find that when you live simply, feel lighter, less bound, and have more time to focus on what truly matters. Do you feel caught up in the cycle of consumption? What really matters to you in life? This is a question we should ask ourselves when facing the temptations of consumer society. When you realize what truly matters in life, you will find it easier to let go of unnecessary things and live a simpler life. Try a simple but meaningful exercise. Make a list of things you truly need in life and things you can live without. Challenge yourself to live a week with only the essentials, focusing on experiences and relationships instead of unnecessary material possession. Every time you feel tempted by unnecessary shopping or consumption, stop for a moment and think about what truly matters to you. You'll find that when you live simply, you feel lighter, less bound, and have more time to focus on what truly matters. When we have simplified our lives, we will have more time and space for self-reflection and learning. Self-reflection not only helps us understand ourselves better, but also helps us continually improve and grow. This is the 10th principle we will explore together. As we learn to live simply, we will have more time and space for self-reflection and learning. This is one of the most important principles of Stoic philosophy, helping us understand ourselves better and continually improve. Self-reflection and learning are essential parts of Stoic philosophy. Regularly reviewing your thoughts and actions helps you understand yourself better, recognize mistakes, and continuously improve. Self-awareness and learning from life experiences help you grow sustainably. Stoicism teaches that to live a meaningful life, we must constantly learn and improve ourselves. This not only helps us become better, but also helps us live a fulfilling and meaningful life. Seneca, who often wrote journals to record his thoughts and experience. He used his journals as a tool for self-reflection, drawing lessons and enhancing his wisdom every day. Seneca believed that only by constantly learning and improving ourselves can we live a meaningful and fulfilling life. One famous story about Seneca is when he faced challenges in life. Instead of letting these challenges defeat him, Seneca used them as an opportunity to learn and grow. He wrote down his thoughts and feelings, drawing valuable lessons that helped him become more mature. Self-reflection and learning are continuous processes that require patience. This doesn't mean we have to change everything immediately, but we need to gradually improve and develop ourselves every day. By doing this, we can live a meaningful and fulfilling life. One way to practice self-reflection and learning is to regularly write journals or reflect on what you have experienced throughout the day. Take time to review the decisions you made, the lessons you learned, and the things you can improve. This will help you develop self-awareness and continuously improve yourself. In everyday life, we often face situations that require self-reflection and learning. For example, after a stressful day at work, spend a few minutes reflecting on what you did, what you learned, and what you can improve. This not only helps you recognize shortcomings, but also encourages continuous development. Another example might be writing a daily or weekly journal. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. After a while, read back and see how you've grown, then adjust and improve the areas you feel need improvement. Do you often take time to reflect on yourself? How can you learn from your mistakes and successes? This is a question that each of us should ask ourselves every day. When you regularly reflect and learn, you will find that you continually grow and become better every day. Start writing a daily or weekly journal. Record your thoughts, feelings, and experience. After a while, read back and see how you've grown, then adjust and improve the areas you feel need improvement. Regular reflection will help you continuously improve yourself. Every day, take time to reflect on what you've done and what you can do better. Write down your thoughts and use them as a tool for learning and growth. When you practice this regularly, you will find yourself becoming more confident, patient, and ready to face any challenge in life. As we learn to reflect and grow, we will see that all the Stoic principles are closely connected, helping us build a disciplined, self-controlled, and meaningful life. Let's summarize what we've learned in the conclusion. Let's review the 10 Stoic principles we've explored. From focusing on what you can control, living according to nature, practicing ego-lessness, embracing adversity, practicing gratitude, living with purpose, developing sound judgment, controlling emotions, living simply, to self-reflection and learning, these are the principles that can help you build a disciplined, resilient, and meaningful life. Discipline is not a destination but a continuous journey. It requires perseverance, effort, and an unwavering commitment. The Stoic principles are the foundation that helps you maintain and develop self-discipline, allowing you to take control of your life. Start applying these principles in your daily life. Even small changes will gradually accumulate into significant transformations, helping you move closer to the life you desire. The obstacle in the path comes the path. Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. Marcus Aurelius. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content on Stoicism and self-development. Let's build a self-disciplined, resilient, and meaningful life together, starting with small steps today.